The podcast you are listening to of Holmberg's Morning Sickness is brought to you by my friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Trust me on this one. You've had barbecue before, but you haven't had it this good. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale, ericsfamilybbq.com.
When was the last time you had really good Texas-style barbecue? Eric's Family Barbecue, the way it's supposed to taste. Always delicious, never rushed, and prepared to perfection. Eric's Family Barbecue uses only 100% fresh meat, slowly smoked over mesquite wood until it's juicy and delicious. We all know their brisket is the best, but have you tried their pulled pork, pork ribs, or rib tips? Amazing, and their sides are all house-made. Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meat, mesquite, repeat. Make the trip. You won't be sorry. Go to ericsfamilybbq.com for more information.
Holmberg's Morning Sickness.
You've been deceived by an agent of Satan himself. He's evil.
Sitting right here. Come on.
No, he's not. He's not evil. He's just a bit rude.
98 UPD.
This is getting out of hand how late you are every day. Can you get your act together and get this Brady Report started at a reasonable time?
Sorry.
Kyle Rittenhouse's fault, really, to be honest. I don't feel safe with him online, Classy. No, I don't feel safe with Kyle Rittenhouse online. That's all they were worried about. He's just online. But he wants to show up at the campus now and again. Scott Haynes fired
Paid
off.
appearances.
Scott Haynes said, the Students for Socialism. He goes, it's ironic that a group with the abbreviation of SS wants to label someone a Nazi. That's a great point, Scott. In socialism classes, do they have grades? How do you know how well you're doing without grades? And
Pass,
then when
fail.
they give you one, isn't that the opposite? It's like a hierarchy. You're creating a hierarchy.
No, nobody fails, Brady.
Pass fail's not equal.
That's not even, Brady. That's the worst of them. That's the haves and have-nots. You're like that Caulfield, what's his name? Caulfield, yeah. What's that book called? I should know that, but I couldn't get into ASU. Catcher in the Rye, that's right. And the haves and the have-nots and the pass-fails. Please, Brady, everybody's just a kind of a gray, nameless thing. Now enjoy your gruel and walk towards the hole. Remember in Chernobyl? Socialist communism, when they're like, you listen to us. You go out and walk out there for a little while and see what happens to that guy. And you had to, because everybody was even, except for that one dude who was like in charge of it all. God, that's a hard thing to watch. I don't know how anybody sat through that every Sunday. I'd get people that say, did you watch Chernobyl? I'm like, yeah, up until all those dogs died, like graphically for 14 minutes. And I'm like, I kind of get the gist of this.
I never finished it.
No, it's horrifying. What's the point of finishing it? It wasn't going to get better.
I got to the point where, that's what happened.
Yeah, well, I remember what happened.
I know.
Needed a refresher course on that?
No, that's how it went down. I've seen enough.
When the Ruskies had all that nuclears, cool. That's enough.
I actually sped up and
You
started to read about it afterwards. Like, I'm not getting the answers because they're stretching it out so long.
Dragging out all the dying and the people rotting. I get it. Nuclear stuff in here is bad.
Putting a dome over it and that stuff.
Oof. I just remember that in my junior high, Rhodes Junior High. You were there.
Yeah.
When Chernobyl blew up in 86. I think it was 86. Like within a week, the coolest kid in school had a shirt with a dead fish on it and said Chernobyl like fish market. I'm like, that's the coolest thing ever. Where'd you get that? And he goes, ooh, bear cover. I'm like, bear cover rules. And we'd always like try to find one at bear cover. Come back with some Town and Country shirts. Bear cover was the best. But yeah, you had like a Chernobyl joke shirt within a week. And back then that was hard to do. The internet's changed all that. Hand it to the gang at bear cover back in the 80s for like being hilarious against our foe, the Russians. We were happy that they blew up. If you recall, that was when America was really
make fun of them. Man.
We were more united in the 80s because we all hated one thing, and that's what unites. And I've said that for years. Hate unites a nation. We have no common enemy. That's why Bond movies started to suck, and America started
friends with everybody.
We started fighting with. Well, we don't have a common enemy to sit and hate. But 9/11 happened. Blacks, Mexicans, whites, everybody hated one thing. My neighbor in California, when I lived out in L.A., had a sign on the side of his car that said "Nuke 'em till the ground glows," and our Armenian neighbors were like, "All right, Bobby!" Like, look at this. They're like every nationality is thrilled with the idea of glowing nukes floating over the Middle East right now. And then we waited too long. Should have done it the first day. Anyway, hindsight. What are you going to do? Take that socialism. Now that's a fun group. ASU Students for Nuking stuff. Go to that meeting. It's time now for Brady to give us all that only Brady knows. We call this the Brady Report. It's brought to you by our friends at Hooters and Bud Light. You can watch that Suns game tonight at Hooters. Guarantee you that's going to be fun, and you can do it after your delicious lunch. You just spend the whole day there. 11 lunch specials starting at $8 each. Wash it down with an ice-cold Bud Light on special. Hang around all day. Suns Warriors tonight, 8 o'clock. That's going to be a hell of a game. And you can watch it right there at Hooters. Brady, report it.
Good Tuesday morning to you, Phoenix. Hello, world.
Hi.
Happy Giving Tuesday.
That's right. It's the Philanthropy Tuesday. You're supposed to give to a charity today, right?
Yeah. A poll asked people if they plan to donate to a charity to celebrate Giving Tuesday.
A Polish guy?
A poll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And according to that, 22% said yes. 43% said no.
Almost half the people said no to.
Yeah.
You lie about that in a story. You don't ever tell people, I'm not giving to charity
weren't
today.
sure.
Screw those guys.
Weren't sure.
For what it's worth, people under the age of 45 are much more likely to give than those 45 and older.
If you are asked by a stranger at all, do you plan to give to charity today? The answer is yes. Just so you don't look like a dick. Yeah. Whether you follow through or not.
You don't listen to that
you
Polish
lie,
guy.
Personal. You lie about it. Yeah, some Pole wanders up to me and starts asking me for money. I'm like, hey, you're going to squander this.
A couple of baseless fun facts. Blue whales and fin whales can interbreed, even though their genetic distance between them is the same as that between a human and a gorilla.
Don't give me any ideas.
So what you're saying is,
we have a chance to make the greatest football player of all time. My DNA inserted firmly into Coco's vagina. And we will make the most athletic gorilla man of ever. And we will name him Omicron.
no!
Viagra was initially developed to help relieve pain from spasms in the coronary arteries.
Would you volunteer for that? Sorry to interrupt, Brady, but if they said, hey, we think we can take your sperm and make a super gorilla, would you
Just
do it?
give the tummy puddle?
Because I don't. Yeah, but you got to raise it. Like Brett
That's
and I
an
don't
old
want
joke.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh? It is?
Yeah, they said, would you get $300 to
300?
They want to start this new species and to breed with a gorilla.
Heck yeah.
And the guy goes, I'll do it. I have some conditions, though. No
This isn't
kissing.
gonna- this isn't gonna be
and
weird,
it'll
is
take
it?
me 5 weeks to raise the $300.
Oh, he thought he'd have to pay.
Yeah.
Isn't it a Polish joke?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
it's
a
kinda-
Polish guy
yeah,
if you
yeah.
want to start. Why would you start with a Polish guy?
You got a groan.
It was a groan because it was terrible. Why did he even bring this up?
Page 320 of volume 33 of Ben Brooks' funniest jokes of all time.
No kissing. It'll take
No,
me.
we heard you.
right.
He's heard enough. He's dying.
Setting it.
I think they missed the punch. That Ben Brooks. Those joke books.
Stop it, Brady.
said 300.
He's still laughing while we're moaning going, that was hard.
It's like, I need to fire that off a second time.
That's a goodie. I'll
No,
tell that
it's
one
not.
the rest of the
Explain
day.
it to us.
Everyone in North Korea named Kim Jong-un had to legally change their name once he took power.
That's right. There's only
Is
one.
it that popular?
It's illegal.
There can be
They have
only
the
one.
same name. It's the
Highlander.
supreme leader.
Or Highlander.
So if the sailboat guy came to you and said, you're going to
John Holmberg of the Virgin Islands.
Oh, the Virgin Islands, yeah.
Well, why would he do that? I would tell him to F himself. If he's a
This is in North
if he's a
Korea.
dictator in the world I'm living in, and he's like, you're getting your head chopped off, you don't change it. Even if that yachtsman that is so successful with my name over there in the Virgin Islands came by, I said, I'm going to cut your head off if you don't change your name. I'd consider it.
You sound
Like, what
serious.
do I have to change it to? Like anything but John Holmberg. I'm like, it's not working for me anyway. You're right. Does
John
it mean
Bogan.
do I get a fresh start with a new name? And then I would get my own yacht and I would defeat him as my new name, David Brady Bogan.
PNC Financial Services released their annual list of the cost of everything in the 12 days of Christmas. This year, you have to spend $41,205.
For the 12 thing.
Yeah. That's up 5.7%.
A lot of birds. Get a lot of birds with that purchase. 5 golden rings, but they estimate the size of the golden rings at a certain, like it's not a huge cost.
Yeah.
They're just doing like ounces of gold. They assume it's like 10 ounces of gold for the 5 golden rings.
So it's not a gaudy ring.
It's a decent size. Yeah, it's classy. Yeah. Still gold, but gold's coming back.
The most expensive thing is the 7 swans of swimming.
No kidding.
They'll run you $13,125.
I'll skip that one.
Wow, it's
$1,800
couple
a
grand
swan.
a swan?
Yep.
To just have them swim? I could go to Are those swans?
Well,
Or what the heck's over there at Granada Park I throw rocks at when they get too...
There's ones over in Scottsdale.
Those are swans.
Could be
I
a
just
type of
changed the
goose,
11 days
too.
of Christmas.
Could be a white
Nobody's going
goose.
to know. I can get you 3 swans from Granada Park today.
Yeah, those are...
I'm going to come back injured, but I can
No,
get
the
them.
swans have the long neck, the longer neck.
Well, there's geese all over, but there's a few real long white ones over at Granada Park. One looks like Elvis. He's got like this weird pompadour. I think he got it. And every once in a while, and I had to explain this, walking through there's some piles of feathers.
They must have gotten into a fight.
No.
Yep.
Coyote.
Yep. We'll go with
Coyotes
that.
dumped the red.
You know, there's food all over this place. The coyotes at night, they raid this park.
That's terrible.
What? Coyotes got to eat?
Is buying a real or fake Christmas tree better for the environment?
Well, probably worse. It's plastic.
In general, experts think
In general? What do you mean in general?
buying a real tree every year tends to be a little bit better.
Because it goes back into the earth.
Well, a study in 2018 found that after 5 years, it's about even. But it's not that simple because the real trees also have benefits. Most of the fake trees we buy come from China.
Right.
So on top of the whole made of plastic thing, they're shipped here on boats,
Oh,
use a ton of fossil fuel.
don't care.
Then they're transferred to trucks, also run on gas.
By the by, so's all the presents under the tree.
Yeah,
So let's settle down
everything else.
about your
Yeah, what
carbon
difference does it
footprint
make?
because nobody really cares that much or you'd stop driving.
Around 15,000 different farms grow Christmas trees in the U.S. and employ over 100,000 Americans.
Every time you unwrap your Kind bar and put it in the blue bin, you're doing nothing. But you feel good about yourself, and that's all that this whole thing's about.
Yep.
Merriam-Webster's word of the year,
Douche.
close. Vaccine.
Oh, yeah.
Searches for vaccine were huge, up 600%. The runners-up, insurrection, infrastructure,
Oh, man.
perseverance, because of the Mars Perseverance rover, cicada, meta, and woke.
The best thing about vaccine being the number one word is that I don't know how many people were doing it to research vaccine or research old vaccines to argue with people later about what happened with polio or the Spanish flu
That's true.
or vaccines for rubella and all that. Like, I bet you it was just mostly people trying to educate themselves so they could fight with people later.
Oh, man, I'm wrong.
No, nobody ever says that. They just find what makes them right and they run with it.
Good news for your holiday baking. Pillsbury now has a candy cane cookie dough.
Interesting.
They had a peppermint one, but it's got to be similar to that.
Isn't that the same?
Well, they
What's the difference?
they called it peppermint sugar cookie dough. I guess this one is
Candy
a little
cane.
different. Yeah.
Does it
That
look
sounds
like
the
a
same
candy
to me.
cane? Is
Yeah.
it red and white? It's red and white.
If it's
In a ta-
peppermint,
in
it's
a
candy
taste
cane.
test, you wouldn't know. But thank you for that info, Brady.
It's very important. And you can eat it right out of the tube. It won't.
Oh, sure. It's cookie dough. That's what you do with it. You actually cook that stuff? Remember when they tried to convince you it would give you cancer? And people would just be like,
Some of the cookie
Okay.
dough, they'll say they don't want you to eat it raw.
why?
Who's they?
Because there's raw egg in it. Or
So, Rocky drank tons of raw egg.
I know. Cops in Birmingham, England, raided a drug dealer's apartment last week. Turned out that he had over 40 pounds of weed in his place, along with 24 pot plants. And when he realized the police were at his door, he panicked, decided to open the window of the second floor, just start throwing huge handfuls of pot out. If anything, it helped the cops track him down even better because they were standing outside, noticing the handfuls of pot coming out of the window. Then he started the plants, so he got busted. They also found $8,000 worth of cash,
Jeez.
bunch of hash oil. No word on the charges yet. Oh, and they took a crossbow.
His
Oh, wow.
wife is crossbow.
Yeah. In Greenwood, South Carolina, firefighters were called at a fire at a assisted living facility. Cause of the fire? Someone put some bullets inside the toaster oven.
Oh, my God. Find that. Oh. That's not good.
Yeah.
Put
Well,
it in a
disgusting
furnace.
for-
It's the old Bill Cosby thing. Somebody's mother would have to be pretty terrible. Put a bullet in the furnace. Remember, it was that they put bullets in the furnace.
I don't know if you saw this, but
then he raped a lady, and it all went south. God, he used to be funny.
The new CEO for Twitter is already under fire for
he's quitting
a tweet. 11-year-old
Jack's
tweet.
already out.
Yeah, Jack's gone. The man bun bearded hipster is already done with Twitter.
Yeah, well, the new one,
I didn't even know they had him
Parag Agwal.
Didn't even know that guy was there yet.
Well, he tweeted 11 years ago, basically forwarded something from The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. About talking about, it was a joke about white people and racists.
Oh, foiled by my own petard. Is it petard?
He said it was from The Daily Show, and it basically says if they're not going to make a distinction between Muslims and extremists, then why should I distinguish between white people and racists?
Wow.
And that was from the John. So now
he can't, because of his tweets, he can't run Twitter.
From 11 years ago.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and funny enough, I feel okay with canceling the Twitter guy. Like, it's kind of fun when the chickens come home.
Let's get to the radio videos.
All right.
The first one, Brett, you're going to like this. This is called a reverse porch pirate.
Whoa.
These girls went to the door ring,
and
they hit the doorbell ring thing, and the video goes on, and they basically leave a message for the homeowner. By the way, I want to let you know, you've got a package in your front door. We're putting it in your mailbox. They're calling them reverse porch pirates.
Just get off just stop touching my stuff.
I know.
Don't touch me. Don't get so involved, weirdos.
These girls just want to go.
So this is one of Brady's things. So
I don't want to watch this.
Yeah. We don't have to watch it.
No, now we do. Now you put us.
You sold it.
No,
Yeah.
it's so early.
Oh, they're hipsters.
We can't answer the door right now. If you'd like to leave a message.
This looks like Portland to me.
Definitely Portland.
Okay, yo, you guys got a package.
All right, I don't listen to anybody who starts a sentence with "yo." Hey, Rocky or Tony Danza.
Yeah, out.
Hey, yo.
Idiot friends.
Hey, yo, I just come by to tell you you got a package I decided to shove in your mailbox because I'm a bit nosy. Now, is the guy who lives there smoking hot and these girls are making their move?
Package in your mailbox.
We get it.
Peace out.
Thanks,
I love your
hipster.
house.
Peace out,
It's a
too.
great house that reminds me of Mexico.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Wow.
Everybody wants out? Your house reminds me of Mexico in that no one wants to stay here.
So, Brett, be ready for reverse porch pirates at your place.
I don't even know why that would make Brett. I don't even get where you're going with that.
Nothing. I'm just, he's going to
Seeking
get a lot of packages. We all should be ready.
No, stop.
Let's get to some girls getting hurt.
Yes, there we go.
Now we got videos.
This one's trying to do the your dog by pulling up a blanket above your head, and then you disappear, and the dog thinks she jumps down a couple of steps, but she
falls.
Doesn't factor in.
Boom
goes the
so
dynamite.
she does the
forehead to the wall.
So here's what you see here, folks: is that you throw a blanket in front of yourself, in between you and your dog. And then when the blanket falls, you're gone. Well, this lady decides she's going to jump down a staircase to disappear from the dog. But the second floor isn't that high up compared to the first 2 or 3 stairs. You have to. It's it's on a grade.
It's like a split level.
Yeah, it's like a grade. So when you're going down the stairs, you're not going to hit your head. But if you leap down the stairs, you're going right into the. So let's take another look. There she is with the blanket. Oh, look, doggy, I disappeared. And I'm retarded. And I'm also retarded.
By the way, the dog's scared.
And the dog's sitting there going, you call me the dumb dog.
How about her? How about Steven Spielberg? Her buddy's really helpful with the.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a massive spinal injury involved in this, and her friend. That girl does not land well.
We'll end it with one more slab of meat hitting the ground.
All right. That's fantastic.
This next one, the guy's kicking the 2x4, doing a little karate.
This is going to be a bad leg.
Very patient.
He's kicking with his shin on a big. That leg's going to break, isn't it?
He did it 3 times and it didn't break.
Ow.
Ow.
Oh, I'm waiting for that shin to break. Doesn't it?
It doesn't.
Oh, that's it?
Yep, that was it.
Yo.
Success videos, Brady?
Nah, come on. This is getting too positive. You should have ended with
There's
the
a
dog.
theme today
Of winners.
body parts making sound effects off of ground. This one is the bouquet toss at a wedding.
Okay.
And just listen for the slab of meat hit on
Okay.
the toss. Pushed out of the way.
This is
get
the
the flower.
fight for the bouquet. Is the,
Time
bride.
Oh, she faked. She threw it. So here's the bride. She faked one.
Wait for it.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That was a smack.
What is that? That's a pig. That's a naked pig. What is she wearing?
Sausage casing?
Yeah, she looks like she's been cased. All right. Now Lizzo throws the bouquet, and then Amy Schumer passes out on it. Okay, that's the worst wedding ever. Lizzo tosses a bouquet to only Amy Schumer.
Laughing.
There's nobody else even trying to catch it. Why did this girl hit the dirt?
The bridesmaid just...
I like Lizzo's dupe to start. Lizzo dupes, then Lizzo tosses, and Schumer drops dead.
There's 3 girls
she's a
there.
5.
I said there's 3 girls. You
I have a
wanted
feeling
to
that
shot.
big white lady that's laying on her stomach is used to that position because nobody wants to do it face to face. You just you lay on your tummy. You face another way. You just go ass up. Oh, my God. Can I call you babe? That'll do, pig. That'll do. Wow. Is that it?
That's it.
Well done. In this story?
I did.
Okay. Did you print it?
Oh, you want me to
Of course I want you to print it. I want Brady to read this.
Oh,
Just try. Well, that sounds worse than it.
Woof.
I want Brady to read this raw.
Speaking of what the story's
Yeah,
about,
no,
that
exactly.
dry is...
Just the headline's enough.
Okay, all right.
I mean, you can do the whole story. The picture of the
That's
guy's
right.
pretty
Here you
great,
go.
too. It's coming up. Brady, this was just since breaking news from our friends in India. This is what they do for fun over there. And I hope there's
so
a video.
many.
Hope
There's
a
so many
video of
games
that.
to play over there.
Did you see that one dude that was on The Voice walked into a... remember that video we had of that guy that got caught in that thing that just spun him to death?
Oh, God.
One of the guys from like The Voice from a few years ago did the same thing. Walked into a conveyor belt and it spun him to death.
Oh, man.
It was on Yahoo the other day. Brady, this breaking news. Breaking news. He said, what? Brady, tonight at 10. Brady?
Over the holiday.
Ramat Ali killed after co-worker Shazda Khan inserts industrial pipe into his anus and pumps air for fun.
They put an industrial pump in a guy's butt and then blew him up like Dig Dug. They were playing Indian Dig Dug.
This is what you have to look forward to in your new lifestyle.
That's right. You know it would be fun, Shazada, if you pumped me up with that compression pump and put it right in my butt.
The horrific incident took place in Hooghly,
Love
which is
Hooghly.
a West Bengal town.
Bengal.
Bengal.
Go Bengals. Who dey?
There's only one way to pronounce that. Bengal.
Who dey say they're going to beat them Hoogies?
The Hooghly. Hooghly.
It happened in Hooghly. Guy just shoved a compressor thing up another guy's butt and blew him up with air. Killed him.
No one should get such a
And you know what?
terrifying death, his father said. Well, yeah.
Right. That is a terrifying death. But you know what? Brady, you run the risk of being one of these guys because I'm feeling at one point you and a friend would thought,
Imagine the fart that would come out of you if you pumped yourself full of air with this thing. Oh, man. Let's try it.
Doctors came out and informed his dad said your son's liver had burst due to the high pressure pumped into his body.
oh,
Both of his kidneys had been damaged. Surgery is performed. Didn't.
no, yeah, it didn't work evidently.
Yeah.
Started with a headline saying killed. Well, there you go. So don't try that at home, kids. I just like the idea. Inserts industrial pipe into his anus and pumps air, quote, for fun.
Thanks, Dave.
Try it.
Worst part is his friend had to tell him, what were you guys doing that for? For fun. We were doing it for fun.
The old Hooghly Boogly.
We tried the Hooghly method, but it was for fun, and it
We've
backfired.
done it so many times for fun.
It has backfired. You don't know. Then that wasn't their first time. You're right. We do the air thing again? Oh, yes, Shazada. Get the air pump. We'll try it again. This time, really go for it. Turn it up to 30 PSI. I want to win basketball. Insert to 12.5 PSI. Too much. Aye. Oh. Something has happened bad. So don't do that. And I've said that before, and to everybody but my neighbors, I mean it. Don't put things in your butts.
Don't even put the basketball needle on there with a hand pump. Don't even try that.
Oh, no, there's no reason to put air in you, except for through your mouth, where your lungs live. Your butt doesn't need air. It can live without air. Your butt can live on Mars. It's fine. It's 8:22. There you go, everybody. That is your Brady Report. And I'm not talking to the ladies when I say that thing about butts, by the way. You guys need air in there. We'll take care of that. I have a special attachment just for that. There you go. The Brady Report is over.
Arizona's most powerful rock radio station. He said, fully erect. 98 KUPD.
You've been listening to Holmberg's Sickness Podcast, brought to you by our friends at Eric's Family Barbecue in Avondale. Meet, mesquite, repeat. Eric'sFamilyBBQ.com.